right? So it appears that Elon Musk has made history, but not in a good way. It says Elon Musk becomes first person ever to lose $200 billion. The Tesla CEO has seen his wealth tumble in recent weeks after shares of the electric car maker tumbled. So Tesla has been absolutely tanking off of the face of the planet right now. Elon Musk has really been embroiled in Twitter, and even people who are Tesla share owners are really getting pissed, attributing a lot of the tumbling to his workings at Twitter and spending all of his time on Twitter. A lot of people are, investors are supposedly losing faith in the Tesla product because of all the stuff that he's doing at Twitter, and so they are pulling out, and ergo it's losing value. Now, a lot of the market has seen a bunch of tumbles, and so a lot of it just comes down to simply the Fed raising interest rates, and so, when the Fed raises interest rates, right, that incentivizes people to save money because they're going to make more money by placing their money in the bank as opposed to investing money into the stock market, right? That's the whole point of what the Federal Reserve is trying to do, is trying to taper aggregate demand, is trying to shift the aggregate demand curve to the left to bring the equilibrium price point down. I should have pulled out the graph for you guys, sorry. But that's what they're trying to do, and so that means that stock values are going down, and they are. But there seems to be a bit of a deviation from the mean even with Tesla, and so a lot of people are attributing that differential, that sort of deficit in the mean, depreciation in stock assets to Elon Musk's craziness on Twitter. And I know a lot of people have really soured on him. Elon Musk used to be a guy that everybody loved, but ever since Twitter, people like that I know, whether it be like my parents or people like that, are not really liking him anymore. People who really defended him and liked him now don't really like him because of all the crazy stuff he's doing on Twitter. It says Elon Musk was the second person ever to amass a personal fortune of more than $200 billion, breaching that threshold in January 2021, months after Jeff Bezos. The Tesla Inc. chief executive officer has now achieved a first of his own, becoming the only person in history to erase $200 billion from their net worth. Musk, 51, has seen his wealth plummet to $137 billion after Tesla shares tumbled in recent weeks, including an 11% drop on Tuesday, according to Bloomberg Billionaires Index. His fortune peaked at $340 billion on November 4, 2021, and he remained the world's richest person until he was overtaken this month by Bernard Arnault, the French tycoon behind luxury goods powerhouse LVMH. So this is pretty crazy, but it says the round number milestone reflects just how high Musk soared during the run-up in asset prices during the easy money pandemic era. Tesla exceeded a $1 trillion market capitalization for the first time in October 2021, joining the likes of ubiquitous technology companies Apple Inc., Microsoft Corp., Amazon.com Inc., and Google parent Alphabet Inc., even though its electric vehicles represented only a sliver of the overall auto market. Now Tesla's dominance in electric cars, the foundation of its lofty valuation, is in jeopardy as competitors catch up. It's offering U.S. consumers a rare $7,500 discount to take delivery of its two highest volume models before year end, while also reportedly reducing production at its Shanghai plant. That's a really good deal, the $7,500 discount. If you're in the market for an electric car, I would recommend trying to jump on that. It's a big discount. It says, meanwhile, with pressure on Tesla intensifying, Musk has been preoccupied with Twitter, which he acquired for 44 Bs in late October. He applied a move fast and break things approach, blah, 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 blah. The decline in Tesla shares has been so steep, the shares fell 65% in 2022. Holy crap. And Musk has sold so much this year to help cover his Twitter purchase that they're no longer his biggest asset, according to Bloomberg's Wealth Index. Musk's stake in his closely held Space Exploration Technologies Corp at $44.8 billion exceeds his approximately $44 billion position in Tesla stock. He still has options worth an estimated $27.8 billion. Musk now owns 42.2% of SpaceX, according to a recent filing. And so he's blaming the Federal Reserve for what's going on with the stocks. And so the Federal Reserve is a huge portion of it. He is correct that the Federal Reserve is a big portion of it. They're doing it on purpose. The Fed is doing this on purpose. They want to taper aggregate demand and investment, and instead have people save it instead. Taper aggregate demand, and also there's an aggregate demand, aggregate supply graph that was created by John Maynard Keynes, right, and his diagnosis of the Great Depression, and saying the aggregate demand was tapered too much, and so stimulate the economy to push aggregate demand, and aggregate supply will grow, and you'll have like the economy come back, price level will go up. In the Great Depression, typically in recessions, you have deflation, not inflation, but deflation, generally speaking, is bad, except for in certain cases, like, if a new technology can produce something cheaper. But there's also a graph, economics graph, of savings investment, right? And so it looks at savings versus investment. And so you can look at how obviously interest rates impact savings versus investment. And so they want people to save, not invest, because prices are too high. So that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to do that on purpose. But, you can just see how crazy this is, how bonkers this is in terms of, like, I'm shocked that I didn't even know he reached 340 billion. I thought he had only hit like 220 billion or something like that. So that's crazy. Like, having a net worth of 340 billion is so bonkers. It's just so unbelievable. So you can see here, this is the Tesla stock. If we look at the 1 year mark, I looked it up. It's like April 14th is when he had said he had made his first offer, and pretty much almost like immediately soon thereafter it had started tumbling. Again, that's just a corollary relationship, so this might not be the actual cause of why it tumbled so much. I don't know if the general market was also dipping at that rate, but the official purchase was, I think, October 22nd. I looked it up or something like that. So it just, it ended up it went up a little bit like right after, and then it just started to go down again. But again, that's also a corollary relationship. That's not necessarily a causal one, right? So I'm not necessarily asserting a causal link there. But you can just see a massive dump. And again, most of the dump is going to be the Federal Reserve just taping it down, because I think, like, you just see like so many stocks are just down so much, right? So it's just kind of like that's kind of the thing. So a lot of that just has to do that. But according to this, in terms of why is it that Tesla stocks are just down so much, it's saying news of reduced output in Shanghai comes on the heels of last week's report that Tesla was offering U.S. consumers a $7,500 discount to take delivery of its two highest volume models before year end, combining to intensify concerns that demand is ebbing. For Tesla's valuation is pinned on its future growth prospects, these worries reflect a significant risk. Quote, most of the stock's weakness this year is due to indicators showing flagging demand globally, said Craig Irwin, an analyst at Roth Capital Partners. Tesla's estimated revenue growth, quote, is still amazing, but not 385 billion market valuation type amazing, he said, referring to the value at the end of last week. And so I guess a lot of it also has to do with just simply less money in people's pockets and having them save. Again, when you push people to save, they're going to spend less in the economy. And so I guess there's less demand for electric vehicles as a result of that pushing away of aggregate demand and pushing towards savings versus investment. And so I think a lot of that plays into Tesla cars as well. And so they're trying to lower their prices to, re-incentivize demand for their product, right? When you lower the price of your good, you're going to increase the quantity demanded. Not the demand of the good, but the quantity demanded of the good will increase. There's a difference. But here's what's really shocking to me, honestly, and it just kind of goes to show you how much of like a psychic Kanye West is. Honestly insane. But Bernard Arnault is now the richest man on the planet. Like, what the fuck? How is Bernard Arnault, dude who's like his whole thing is luxury stuff, and I don't know if anybody else in this area that's anywhere close. If you look at all these, I guess this Francois, I guess, is the only one, L'Oreal, but it's like Zara, I guess Amancio Ortega too, but it's like most of these people are different kinds of like a lot of technology and like different kinds of, most of them are technology pretty much up in the top. So that's just crazy to me. How's Bernard Arnault the richest man? But I remember seeing him in like his first Drink Champs interview he kept saying that Bernard Arnault was like the richest man in the world, and I was like, dude, like, no, he's not. I was just like, how could you even say that? A simple Google search will show Bernard Arnault is not the richest man. It was Elon Musk and then a bunch of other people. He was in the top 10 somewhere, top 5 or something like that. But here he is. Like, look at this shit. That's just crazy how freaking psychic that dude is, man. It's honestly insane. But Elon is now down to number 2. He's at $146.5 billion. And the thing is about Tesla stock, Tesla, I don't understand. Like, Tesla has a big lead is what all the analysts are saying, and so they're still going to continue to rate the stock highly. But like Tesla, I'm looking at like the technology of other cars, even like a BMW, like a new like BMW SUV. Like, if you're turning into a left lane and there's a car there, it goes beep beep, like it'll tell you. So it's like even a lot of that kind of safety technology is already there in other cars. Some cars already have like autopilot features already. It's like it seems like Tesla and then all these other companies are jumping into the electric vehicle market. So what I don't understand is how is Tesla going to survive? I don't think Tesla has the creation capabilities. I feel like it was the starter, but other legacy corps like Ford and companies like that are going to be able to beat it. And so personally, I don't understand the future of Tesla. Now, I totally transparent here. I don't really know almost anything about finance. I know a good amount about economics, but not so much about finance or running businesses and that kind of thing, right? So I'm not 100% sure on all the details on that. Again, don't take my word seriously because I'm not an expert. The experts are saying that it's going to be good, but the long-term strategy, I can't really see it. I guess they would have to really be ahead of the squad in terms of really being ahead in technology, I guess, like autopilot technology and stuff like that, but I just don't see it. But if anybody can explain to me how in the long term they're going to be able to beat, because their market share is already tanking, like their market share of electric vehicles, their market share in the electric vehicle market is already tanking. So I just don't understand where it's once Ford and Kia and all these other countries come in and start coming in. I think Kia's like a subcorp actually. But anyways, you get the point, right? They start coming in, all these different competitors start coming in the market. How are they not just going to die out? Like they don't have the infrastructure capabilities that they do. And so honestly, I don't know, but I do remember that thinking about it now, Michael Burry, the guy who was he was actually correct on his short of the housing market where he shorted a bunch of subprime mortgage loans and securities, MBS. He was saying, I think he went short on Tesla, and I guess I don't know if he held the short or not, but it looks like he ended up being right. So that's kind of crazy too. But pretty insane stuff here. First man ever in history to lose 200 billion. Wow.